Is there such a thing as good luck or bad luck? I think it depends on how you look at it. What I've found over and over again is that when people come to me with suffering, whether it be emotional, mental, or physical, or they're dealing with negative entity attachments, all of these things are actually happening for a reason. In this video, we're going to be talking about what some of those reasons are, and also ways to get out of your bad luck rut. I'll also be performing a disappointment relief activation. This whole thing depends on your point of view. If you view yourself as someone who things just generally don't go right for, then you perpetuate that belief as an inherent truth about yourself. You also shouldn't get down on yourself for having these types of thoughts. This happens naturally, and generally at some childhood point, you measured the things that were happening to you versus things that were happening to others, and you decided, good things actually happen to other people and not to me. There's a couple of things that you can do to start to work your way back to a good luck viewpoint. First, take note of your expectations. Anytime your specific expectations are not met, you often add the experience to the lose column. But if you look a little bit deeper, you might actually discover that the results weren't all that bad. They just weren't to your lofty expectations. And if you continue to add experiences to your lose column over and over again, you will start to say general statements like, things just don't go my way. The first thing that you have to do to start adding experiences to your win column is to recognize that things don't happen to you, they happen for you. Every negative experience, every experience that you have has with it, carries with it some sort of lesson or some sort of benefit that you can't possibly maybe see even at that time. And one of the difficulties in recognizing this is at the moment that the bad thing happens, you cast judgment on it. You are in a bad or negative emotional state. And so you've decided that this thing that's happened to you is actually all wrong. And it really normally takes time for you to be able to step back and look back on the experience to evaluate it without so much judgment. So one of the tricks is during the time of the negative experience is to recognize that you don't know what the long-term positive benefit of this negative experience will be, but you do know that there is one, and there's probably many. And so you can trust in the fact that eventually you'll figure out what that is and you'll have the benefit from it. And that's one of the first ways that you can start to notch things into the win column is to say anything that happens to you is for your benefit. And whether you realize it at the time or not, it will eventually be revealed to you over time. Let's take an example. Let's say that you broke up with your significant other. During this moment, it feels like your entire world is crashing down around you. Whether they broke up with you or even if you break up with them, you realize that your world has changed and that things are bad. And this is a bad emotional experience. However, months later, weeks later, years later, you will almost always look back at that situation and go, actually, that was for the best. We weren't getting along so well. We would be miserable if we stayed together. We were stopping each other from blossoming and becoming the person that we needed to be. The experience from that relationship opened you up to the possibilities that you are experiencing now in your new relationship. You learned lessons that you have been able to apply to the rest of your life. These are the types of things that you can trust will occur with the negative experiences. And once you start to notch things in the win column, even negative ones, then you're going to start making better generalizations. Hey, things do generally work out for me. Oh my gosh, and look out. Once that happens, the whole world starts to open up to you. Now you begin to move through life knowing that things will always work out for you. And what does this cause? More things working out. You are transforming your bad luck into good. When you are more positive, when you are confident that the universe has your back, you allow it to do so. When you are thinking things are going to go wrong, because they always do, then you are commanding the universe to bring you this. Think about it like this. If you were going to ask somebody out on a date, but you had the thought, well, this person will probably say no. They always say no to me. Then you bring that energy into the interaction. The way that you approach the question, the way that you approach the person is going to be very obvious. You're not going to be as confident. You're going to have a wavering voice. You're going to have an uncomfortable body language. You're going to project how you truly feel. And when we're looking for a mate, especially, we're very much evaluating whether that person could be a good parent for the babies. And if you present yourself with low confidence, then it's not going to work out very well. However, if you look at it in the opposite way, that things generally work out for you, and even if this person doesn't say yes, you're going to have learned from the experience, and you're going to grow, and you're going to be able to ask the next person even better, then you go into it with more confidence, with excitement, with enthusiasm, knowing that whatever the result's going to be, it's going to be good. And so you're going to have that confidence. You're going to have that body language, and they're more likely to say yes because you would be a great parent for the babies. In the end, the universe is conspiring to bring you what you want. All you really have to do is stand out of the way and allow it to do so. When you bring in negative expectations, feelings of things don't go right for me, then you are sending that command to the universe and you are creating that opportunity or that negative opportunity for yourself. At this time, I'd like to go ahead and perform a disappointment relief activation. The way these activations work is we're tuning your body into a different emotional frequency. If you are experiencing disappointment because you feel that things just generally don't go right in your life, then that emotional frequency carries with it vibrations and instructions to your body to say, oh, this is what disappointment feels like. You're going to feel a weight on your chest or your shoulders. You're going to be lackluster. We're going to lose some of our energy so that we punish ourselves essentially for things not going the right way, so that we try in the future to make sure things go the right way. This is an evolutionary survival emotion, just like most of the emotions that we experience here on this planet. So this will retune you to a much less painful version of disappointment. Yes, you may still feel a tiny little bit of disappointment, but for the most part, most of those negative experiences, that laziness feeling, that tiredness feeling, whatever it is that you're experiencing from disappointment will become greatly reduced. And so, why don't you go ahead and close your eyes and get into a comfortable position. I want you to take a nice big deep breath and relax as you exhale. Feel yourself sinking into the chair that you're sitting in. Anytime I'm not speaking, just remain breath aware. I want you to picture yourself standing on a dock, extending out into the ocean. You can hear the waves crashing against the dock itself. You can hear the seagulls. You can see the pelicans standing on the poles, waiting for their opportunity to go fishing again. And you can feel the warm sun on your face, with your eyes closed. I want you to picture yourself with your arms wide in a pose of acceptance for the unlimited energy of the universe coming to you through our star. The way my activations work is I'm going to say breath in, and when I do, you'll take a nice big deep breath, you'll hold it at the top, and you'll wait for me to say the word awaken. This word will be a little bit loud, so don't be surprised. Breath in. Awaken. Good. So we've retuned your disappointment emotion to a less painful one. When you're ready to start to see your life exactly as a perfect orchestrated experience for you to grow and gain all the knowledge, the lessons, and the expansion that you came here to experience, then you can open your eyes. Thank you so much for participating in that activation. I have another activation on my website, the same kind of thing, but it's specifically for nervousness. So if you're going to ask somebody out on a date, or you're going to ask for a raise, or you're going to give a talk in front of a lot of people, and you feel nervous about that, then you can listen to that activation and feel a release of that nervousness experience. So I'd highly recommend you participate in that activation right before you're about to do the thing that makes you nervous. I'll leave a link in the description below so that you can download that. Thank you so much again for participating in this activation and watching this video. I would love it if you subscribed, liked the video, and please comment below to tell us about your bad luck experiences and maybe how you've been able to transcend them. Thank you again. I love you unconditionally, and I'll see you on the next video. There's a couple of things that you can do to reverse that trend so that you can see yourself as a person who good luck things happen to. Oh my gosh. There's a couple of things that you can do. That's going to be in the outtakes. Okay.